Good evening. So as May's celebration continues, I didn't really draw as many Star Wars pictures on my art stream earlier this week as I would have liked. So we're doing a part 2 of the Star Wars art stream. Probably not doing Morrowind characters today. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with Ahsoka. She's a popular character who was introduced in the Clone Wars and then later appeared in Rebels and Mandalorian. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, where to begin with her? All right. Ahsoka is a Jedi character. Well, technically by her later appearances, former Jedi. But she appears to still believe the philosophy, even though she broke with the Jedi itself. And Q-Caller is supposed to come along later and drop some requests. If any of you have some requests, you may drop them too. All right, let's see. Other eye. I could have done the eyes a little better, but they're not terrible. Being one of the alien characters, it does look like she's wearing a lot of makeup, but that's just how her skin is. I may have drawn the nose a bit too long and the mouth too low to line up with these markings, but that's okay. Nobody said I was perfect. When have you ever known me to draw a perfect picture? Although I have gotten close a few times. All right. All right, and from there I can draw the beginnings of her top. Oh. Okay, let's start filling in some detail up here. There's another Jedi that is from this race. Her name is Shakti. She survived the first run, the first phase of Order 66, and can be seen in Force Unleashed. Okay, Q color hasn't arrived yet, but that's okay because we're still working on this picture. I'm trying to line up the markings as best as I can. Okay, that. And I didn't leave enough, doesn't look like I left enough room for the body again. That's all right. If we cut off at the feet, that's perfectly okay. Because when have I ever left room for the feet? Not often enough, that's for sure. Armor plating in Star Wars is so detailed. And with the first piece of the arm in place, we can start to draw in the armor pattern on her top. All right. This piece of armor is very angular. Another bad hand. That's okay. But that allows us to draw the top of the arm. And there's the top of her top. And then below this gauntlet is the other gauntlet for the other hand. So the plan for tonight is to draw until 11 o'clock my time, and then do my normal Thursday night raid. We still got plenty of time, so we'll definitely get more than 3 characters up today. And then there's detailing for the arm, including some straps here. That's visible between the 2 guards, armor pieces, whatever you want to call them. Only 1 finger is visible on this arm, luckily. Alright. Oh yeah, I definitely didn't leave enough room to go all the way to the feet. But there's still plenty of room for the torso in here. He should be here by the time I finish this picture. He was wrapping up. He was wrapping up dinner when I talked to him. So there's a little bit of a skirt thing going on in this armor as well. Give me 1 moment. And then there's this fancy skirt thing going on. And then let's just draw the tops of some legs in. Looks like the legs are just standard tights, so no need to draw any more than the outlines in for those. I definitely may have made her too tall, but I'm getting a little bit of a phone call real quick, so let me go see who that is, and then I'll be right back, and we'll pick the next picture. Meanwhile, I'll leave Ahsoka on screen for a few minutes for you to enjoy. It was nothing. Let's see, what do I want to draw next? I kind of want to... Is this one within my skills? Possibly. If I can find a good reference image, it's within my skills. I don't like working from photographs. They're tough to work from, but yeah, we can work with that, I think. Yeah, it's obvious enough. We'll go with this. So next I'm going to draw a Tauntaun, one of two iconic creatures from the ice planet of Hoth, which otherwise doesn't really support any other life. You know what would be cool? They've made so many different Star Wars video games over the years in so many genres. It would be cool if they did like a video game where you build your own Star Wars zoo. Basically like Zoo Tycoon, but with all the creatures of Star Wars. And they've added so many creatures to the universe since Disney's taken over. Rancors aren't going to be your big highlight anymore. You got Rathtars now. And of course, what Star Wars zoo would be incomplete without a Sarlacc and a Dianoga and even a few Ewoks? Yes, I would put them in cage and show them off as zoo animals. All right. Looks like it's double nostriled on the nose. Probably so it can breathe easier in the harsh, cold environment of Hoth. And I know precisely who I'm going with after this if Q hasn't shown up yet at that point. It's got a furry little ear on top. Did I do that okay compared with the other image? Yes. And then another ear coming off the other side. I've known about Tauntauns for many, many years, since I was little, and I never noticed the double nostril before. And here's the horn coming off the other side. All right. I've often wondered, what do Tauntauns actually eat? I know Wampas eat Tauntauns, but what do the Tauntauns themselves eat, considering we don't see anything else on Tatooine that could be considered living, other than the Rebels when they have their base there? There's another layer here. That's a weird looking mouth, but I gotta move on. All right. And there's all sorts of fur going on here. Let's fill in some fur on this chest section. Fill in some more fur on the arm. And then before I can fill in the fur on the hand, I need to draw in some more detail. Oh, those look like some sharp claws. The fur's going this way on the hand. This hand is closer, and therefore perspective dictates it should be drawn a tiny bit bigger, but still relative to the same position. So now we have the beginnings of a back section of the body. And we can fill in some hairlines on the arm section. By hairlines, I of course meant fur lines. And we're going to go off the page again, I think. But let's just fill in some fur lines on the lower torso. And now yeah, we're going to go off the page with this one, I think. In fact, I know. But let's draw the big fat body. And yes, Tauntauns have to be fat in order to survive. So this one's got a lot of fur. And from here, we draw the suggestions of the top of the leg. And then there's some texturizing and shaping going on here. And then the beginnings of the top of the other leg. Which is drawn from a more sideways angle than the front, which is why it looks bigger. That hand has no detail on it, not much detail. The hands do have a little bit of fur. And now I guess the last thing to do is draw on a tail. I'm going to break from the reference image a little bit. And I'm going to draw the tail actually in an up position so I can... And there we go. There's a Tauntaun. Or at least an attempt at a Tauntaun. Oh wait, he's got some hair going on at the top of his head as well. And around the eye. Alright. Let me figure out who I'm drawing. Well, I know who I'm drawing next. Let me find a reference. This character will be instantly recognizable once I start drawing him, so no need for an introduction on this one. Let me just get the... oh, that reference image is... I wish I could use that reference. Oh! And now suddenly I need a new reference image. I'll still try and pull up that one. That's probably the best reference image. Alright, I'm on the site now. Alright, where's the picture? If Q doesn't start dropping his requests by the time I finish this picture, I'm going to try and call him and see where he is. Alright, okay, I don't know why it's not showing up, but let me try it this way. Why can't I get the full resolution image? There's like no other images of him full-bodied. Oh, we could go open mouth look. And that reference image is big enough for me to actually use as it is without me having to find a bigger version. where to begin. He's got big, beefy fingers and a huge ego. This is one of the classic, iconic, villainous characters of Star Wars. But in the Clone Wars, he did have a brief sympathetic moment. I will give him that. And in the picture, he's eating a snack. And from here, we can draw in the rest of the poor creature. And from here, there's enough context in place that I can draw in his big, huge mouth. He's got a big tongue visible inside that mouth. He's got a lot of full lines on this hand. They're just not visible the angle the other hand is in. He's got a very pronounced chin and all these fat folds below the chin. No, that's not a mustache. These are his nostrils. But they do give him kind of a look like a mustache. Kind of never realized that before, as many years as I've known of this guy. Or known about this guy. I wouldn't care to ever know him for real. That would be actually scary. Lots of texture around his head. Someone's trying to call me though, so I'll probably take a little. Let's see if I get a call. All right. Let's make that a bigger. Now this eye needs some folds around it as well. Definitely more folds around the head as a whole. All right. Now his body, since we're getting full frontal here, is just a big blobby mess. The other reference image was at the side view, but he's still kind of a big blobby mess from the face down. He does have some two-toning going on though. And he's got a tail coming off his back. There's some very faint fat lines in his body. I guess you could also call them texture lines. All right, let me go check on Q. I'll be right back. And I just realized I've been in mute for this whole sketch. So yeah, this is BB9E, the Rolly droid from the First Order. Who do I want to draw now? Let me just see if this character is doable, because he's notorious. Yeah, no, I don't think I'll be able to do this guy. I can't find any full body pictures of him. Give me one moment. Okay. So yeah, her design is relatively simple compared with others of her type. But give me a moment. Yeah, I can work with this. Let's do a Mandalorian character, shall we? Watching for the text. So Q's not going to be dropping his requests in chat. He said he would text them over to me. Still waiting for that. Meanwhile, I've got only about an hour. Possibly less, because I'm starting to feel tired, but I'll try and keep it going. I messed that up already. Let's go ahead and take a mulligan. This is a Mandalorian character. And she's got a slightly interesting helmet design. Mandalorian culture is so fascinating. And because of Jango Fett, some of it even became a part of clone culture during the Clone Wars. And I am going to fill in the visor area for this one. This character's helmet is a little more ancient looking than most of the Mandalorians we see in the modern Star Wars era, which is cool because she has kind of a role of kind of a lore master and keeper in the tribe. It's funny, this character is never explicitly named in the show. She's only ever called the Armorer, and yet her role is pretty important. She has some kind of textured shaping going on throughout the bottom half of her mask. Helmet, I should say. And she has little horns on the top of her helmet as well. And then she has these fur pauldrons that come off her shoulder. Before we get into the armor proper. Let's draw on some fur. Alright, he hasn't texted me yet. Well, if he doesn't text me, I'm going to keep picking. Now, the armorer, I'm not sure if she's a good guy or a bad guy. Nobody really knows for sure. We do know she's kind of sympathetic to Mandalorian because he's part of her tribe. Other than that, we don't really know much about her. She's kind of mysterious. Her armor plating also appears to be a little bit simpler than most Mandalorians. She probably uses an ancient design. There's a utility belt here. And she doesn't hold weapons in this reference image. She holds tools. I got a text. Oh. Okay. Let me text him back real quick. I'm just texting Q back. He put in his requests. So yeah, I'll do 2 of his 3 requests and then a finale. And I may have actually left room for her legs this time. In order to get the texture right, I'll have to draw the skirt 1 layer at a time. Even though it's just a bunch of simple lines. So I've got 3 more characters to try after this. So let's draw on some legs and some arms. I've always thought the armorer character from Mandalorian was interesting. She definitely represents a different class of Mandalorian than what we're used to than what we're given in the more classic sources. So we do cut off the feet a little bit, but not too much. We just lose the very bottom of these boots. So she needs her arms now. There's some fabric lines going on in here. It's interesting because her lower armor doesn't look like anything that we've seen on a Mandalorian before the show. But she's still probably more well-versed in Mandalorian culture than any other character we've ever seen on screen. She's definitely a different kind of Mandalorian, that's for sure. So there's a tool. It's got this hook coming off the side. and then a side that looks like a hammer. Let's give the tool a little more definition. All right, other arm. I may have drawn her arm too thin. The proportions are definitely a little bit off. Fabric lines on this side as well. So we're going to follow this up with a bounty hunter, one more creature, and then a Sith. And if I overshoot time, well, if I overshoot time, then so be it. Let's see. This is my 5th tonight, so we're actually going to have 8 total characters on the night for tonight. Yeah. She's holding her metalworking tools in the reference. I'm sure she's a great fighter as well. Heck, she can probably use these tools as a weapon. Alright, so there you go, the Mandalorian armorer. Now, for my bounty hunter, let me pull up a reference image. So yeah, we didn't really go hero heavy on this one. I might make a spontaneous ad at the end. Let me see. For this one, I definitely want to show him in his classic pose with the guns out. If I can. There's not a lot of full body references for this one, though. Almost. That picture is almost usable. Let's... What's going on with his neck? Oh yeah, he's got the pipe things. Okay, I can use that. Bounty hunter time. Yeah, we're gonna go over. I have no doubt of it. We're gonna go over the amount of time I allotted for myself. But you know what? That's okay. I'm having fun tonight. We're drawing one of the galaxy's most notorious and deadliest bounty hunters. And no, it's not Boba Fett. Because, you know, he went into retirement. He's trying to be a more sympathetic character now. But, you know, he had his time. You know what? I'm almost certain there's going to be a Star Wars Arc Part 3. Because I'm having too much fun. And I am bound by time tonight. I don't have to quit right at 11. But if I want to catch any part of the stream I want to raid into and not have them quitting like right after I go in, I'm going to want to quit not too much after 11. I'm probably not going to do a Sith tonight. Going to replace my Sith with Imperial character. Still going to do someone from the Empire, I think. There's someone I really want to draw. So many fun characters to draw, so little time. And no, I'm not going to color his eyes because his eyes are red. So yeah, if you haven't guessed them already, this is an attempt at Cad Bane. I've got another pretty good villain picked out to go next. Maybe. I have to get through Kia's 2 requests first. He's got an interesting shape to his coat. In the interest of time, I might simplify some of these lines a little bit. Just because I do have 2 more pictures I want to do after this one for tonight. And this guy is just so darn detailed. Well, I've just been informed that the stream I want to raid, the streamer is sick. So I don't know who I'm going to raid when I finish. I hope one of my tier 1, I hope one of my top 10 favorite music streamers happens to be on, because I haven't, other than the one who told me not to raid them, because I have not been seeing a lot of the music streamers that are in my top 10 on recently. And I'm not sure what's going on. I have to draw on some fabric lines to give it some texture. I really don't know what I'm going to do about a raid, but that means I'm no longer rushed. That's actually might be a good thing. And it's Thursday, which means I don't really have a hard stop, but I do have a stream special tomorrow. I'm taking a break from May Celebration tomorrow because I have to do a special on my stream. I'm getting ready to sell one of my collections for Disney money, so, well, technically I'm selling two of my collections for Disney money. One of them I'm not terribly attached to, but the other one was heavily featured on the stream for a while. So I'll be doing a farewell collection stream tomorrow. Last time I'll ever stream that category on this channel. Although I'm thinking about possibly rebooting the collection after I'm employed. But I need the money for Disney souvenirs. No way around that. I already did the math. The only way Disney souvenirs work is if I sell the two collections. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about a raid till the time comes. Now Q had to go very cliche. I asked him for a creature, and what does he want me to do? The Rancor. Well, the Rancor is just as iconic as the Tauntaun, so I've got no problem doing it. There's a little bit of a sash going across him as well, up into the shoulder here. It's not terribly thick. All right, I'll do Q's other request, and then I'll see how I feel. All right, let's draw his bottom section before I forget about it. We're going to cut off the feet again. But you know what? I'm okay with that. Because that's a little bit less to draw if I don't have to do his feet. Here's the top of his boot. Well, no, actually, this is a legging. Let's draw on the pants. Got some texture lines going on in the pants. And now let's draw in his he's got 2 holstered weapons at his side. I wanted to draw a cat in his signature guns blazing pose, but his reaching for the guns pose is good enough, I suppose. In this reference image, the way they're positioned, they almost look like little lightsabers, but I know they're not. I know they're guns. This guy's a cowboy stereotype in Star Wars. All right. And then let's just draw his little flaps down. He's got not really a cape, but these 2 cape-like bits that go down. Behind his legs like that. And there we go. Cad Bane. All right. Let's go ahead and queue up the next image. Let's do Q's other request first because I'm starting to get tired and I have a feeling that's going to be a detailed one. Yeah, we're not going to do... Yeah, I'll just reveal it while I look for a reference image. Q wants the red core. I think we'll go with this. Good enough. Let's get going. So, 2 creatures. I did do 1 hero, a couple villains. Let's see, where am I for the tonight so far? Okay. Rancors have a weird body shape, at least in terms of being able to draw them. I would have been just as happy drawing the worm that comes out of that asteroid in Empire Strikes Back, but whatever. There will almost certainly be a part 3 of Star Wars art. I realized they had little bits of spikes. Well, actually, I kind of always knew that, but I forgot about it. It has this thing that looks like an armor plate made out of skin on its shoulder. Wow, this thing is ugly, but I think that's kind of the point with these guys. No pun intended, but yeah, they do have a bunch of pointy bits. You know, Rancors are supposed to be ugly, but I think my Rancor is going to be the ugliest of them all. Just because I'm not really making sense of how all these lines go. And then they have these tiny little beady eyes. And this one's pretty much hidden by the head folds. Draw some texture on the face. Draw some texture down here. And draw some texture around the eyes. Yeah, that's one ugly creature. Little bit of a fat fold. Let's draw in the shoulder neck area a bit. This one has some texture lines going on. And the chest is pretty smooth. The chest and torso are pretty smooth, but it's got some texture lines going on its side here. All right, arms and legs. These creatures are absolutely massive. This is its kind of restraint. That's kind of its chain bracelet. But I can see it's not actually on the chain right now. Let's draw some more texture inside the nose area. Let's draw in some joints. Good enough for the hand. And actually, we're pretty much going to get the foot, even though we're right at the edge of the page, because the foot doesn't go too much below the hand. I did draw the hand a little bit too far over, though. But we can work with this. Okay, the other leg is in front of the hand on the other side. And with this leg, because it's more of a sideways view, we get a better definition of how the legs actually work on this thing. And I want to draw in some texture lines. Okay. You'll just have to pretend that these claws are sharp because they cut off the edge of the page. All right. Texture lines. And then let's give him his other arm. Let's fill up the fingers with some texture lines. Although strangely, the arms are kind of smooth. Let's put some texture into the hand as well. And there we go. An attempt at a Rancor. Let me look up and see which of the two Imperial characters I want to do. Yeah, standard old man human. Probably going to be an easier time for me than action human. They both got nice capes, though. Both of these Imperial officers that I was thinking about have nice capes. Yeah, the design is simple enough. We're going to go for it. I'm going to, for my final picture tonight, I think final picture tonight, I'm going to attempt to draw Director Krennic from Rogue One. Fairly standard old man look. Shouldn't be too much trouble. Let's draw some texture in the hair. And then we'll do his face. And then his outfit, which is pretty simple as far as Star Wars goes. How many pictures did I do tonight? We were pretty villain heavy tonight. I mean, we did Ahsoka in the beginning, and then we did a Tauntaun, which is neutral. And then everything else we did is pretty much bad guy content. Well, except the armorer, who's more neutral. But this actually is our 8th picture tonight, so this is probably going to be the finale. because I'm getting tired. How long have I been streaming? I'm 2 hours in. Maybe. I might add one more. We'll see how I feel after this one. Man, I totally blew that mouth. Oh, let's improvise a little bit. Like all Imperial officers, he's angry about something. Imperial officers are always angry. Have you noticed that? A little bit of a neckline coming down to the face. I definitely drew his neck area too wide, but we can salvage that. Let's round out his collar. And from there, his ranking badge. And his cape does come around the front of his arms and legs. So let's, oh wow. The fold lines on this cape are a bit like Rarity's mane in their complexity. My Little Pony reference, sorry for those who don't know it. Because the cape does come down around the rest of his outfit, so. This side, the fold lines and the reference aren't as complicated. But there is a fold here. And there's a little bit of a texture line. Let's draw this arm first. Because it comes in front of the other arm. I'm sort of tempted to do one more after this, depending on how I feel. Given that the stream I wanted to raid tonight canceled, and I no longer have a raid plan. And then this arm comes around. He's holding this arm behind the other arm. So you can see his black gloves lined up like that. And his belt. And he has a little bit of a holster. And then a short little skirt-like bit coming off. There, that's the inside of the cape. There's his leg. There's where the pants cut into the top of the boot. Now that cape was supposed to go much longer down his leg. Now we'll draw another section of fabric. Those are some weird fabric wrap patterns on this cape. I can probably make it look better by trying to fill in a little bit of the middle section here. Well, the bottom of the cape looks really disastrous, but that's okay. Director Krennic. Now, let me just see, how hard will it be to draw this guy? I kind of want to go back to Good Guys to finish this off. I can work with this, I think. All right. let's head over to the Naboo swamp for a little while and give ourselves. Let's finish with a Gungan. No, not Jar Jar Binks. I'm not ready to do him on stream yet, given that he kind of doomed the galaxy just by existing. He wears this little mask over the top of his face. That's what I'm trying to draw in now. Till I start drawing his outfit, though, I'm not going to be able to draw in his floppy ears. He's got the Gungan, what looks to be the Gungan equivalent of whiskers. It's got a little bit of texture going on his neck. Now I'm going to try my best to draw in his outfit and the rest of his body. The outfit doesn't look too terrible. So this is Captain Tarpools. He's the head of security at Oto Gunga in episode 1. I know I drew him positioned all the way to the left here. That's because he's holding this weapon thing. And I want to try to do it justice if I can. Alright, the upper part of the armor is set. Let's start drawing in the rest of his armor now. He's got another section here. The armor isn't all meeting up correctly. Let's fill in some texture lines here. Alright, we've got enough detail in for the back head tail, or I should say ear. Those are their ears back there, those floppy things on their backs, on the back of their heads. Alright, I want to draw this front arm in before I attempt to do the front ear though. And he's got muscles. But I drew that muscle line a little bit too high. It's got muscle lines. Alright, let's draw on the rest of this hand. We'll draw on the other arm. And then the weapon, drawing in the weapon will allow us to place the rest of his outfit. This is a weirdly shaped weapon. Well, it's some kind of staff, but it's weirdly shaped. But this is going to be the last picture for tonight because I really am getting tired. All right, let's... Oh, the weapon's going to go off the page, I think. I'm okay with that because it shows a sense of the size of this weapon. All right, let's see. He's got a belt. Let's draw on his lower half, and then we will be done for tonight. That belt came out a little sloppy, but that's okay. He's got a little piece of armor hanging over his pants like this. And guess what? Once again, the feet get cut off. So here's some pants. On this side, he's got the side of some armor. And that leg is in more of a stance. He's got little bits on his knees. And we got to fill in. His pants area does not look right. We'll pretend that's an armor skirt. It does sort of. Yeah, we can turn it into an armor skirt just by doing that. So now he's got a little bit of armor coming around his back. It's the best way I had of fixing the line. All right. There's Captain Tarpools. So let me do our recap for tonight. We did a lot of pictures tonight. We drew Ahsoka at the beginning of the night. And then I drew a Tauntaun. And then Jabba the Hutt. BB-9E. Mandalorian Armorer. Cad Bane. Rancor. Director Krennic. And then we finished on Captain Tarpools. Let's see, which picture? You know what? I'm going to leave you with Ahsoka for the outro. Let me see who we're rating tonight. There's nobody, next to nobody to raid. So we're just going to raid Sandy AJ, though I'm pretty sure this is around her quitting time. All right, have a good night, everyone. There will almost certainly be a Star Wars Art Part 3, so have a good night, and I will see you soon. Good night. Good night.
Okay, how about something? I know, so you did. You're waiting just a little bit to wrap things up. I think this is awesome. Thanks, everybody. I need it now. I need it now. Thank you.